Friday night in Chapel Hill as the start of conference play brings North Carolina and Wake Forest together. Both teams eyeing an early edge in the standings as the road through the ACC begins tonight. Good evening, everybody. Welcome inside our broadcast position here today. She's Amanda Poole. I'm Mike Guerriere. We'll be joined by the third member of our team, Olivia Mundorf, in just a moment. Now, year after year, we've seen the trend with the ACC constantly getting better as a conference, but year after year, like we've said, they are very competitive game in and game out.
Yeah, the ACC is strong as ever. 6 teams featured in the latest top 25. The ACC going 129 and 55 overall in non-conference play, including winning 9 of 16 in that ACC-SEC showdown series. Just the level of the athlete, it just continues to improve each year. A couple of those athletes full on display tonight.
We'll see some athletic play from both sides, but Chelsea Thorpe for North Carolina has been phenomenal on the offensive end.
Yeah, Carolina a constant, right, Mike? Head coach Mike Shaw saying this year she has been a lot steadier than last season. The Tar Heels love her energy and enthusiasm on the court, and she continues to get better, putting up a new career high 22 kills in her last match against ECU, and at an efficient clip hitting .475. Coach Shaw saying it's her willingness to dive in and get better every day that separates her. Now, somebody else who separates herself from her team is Wake Forest senior outside Paige Crawford. Led the team in kills the past 3 years, so every year that she has been at Wake Forest, and she's on track to do so again this year. Head coach Jeff Holzmeyer describes her as rock solid, saying you know what you're going to get from Paige every day mentally. In her senior year now, they're emphasizing her ability to be a more vocal leader, play upon her experiences, Mike.
A special player on and off the court, but the third member of our team is courtside. Olivia Mundorf, take it away.
Holzmeyer is in his first year at Wake Forest, but he's not new to the ACC. He spent a decade at Florida State, and he has had a lot of success in this conference. His experience certainly going to help the Demon Deacons, but he still has some questions he needs to answer from his team. Can they take that next step? Can they be together on the floor, play aggressive? And they're going to have a big challenge tonight in North Carolina, an athletic, talented group on the other side of the net. Mike.
Thank you, Olivia. This Wake Forest team has a leader that is no stranger to winning in the ACC. It's a place he's been before, now leading the charge for his own program in the Demon Deacons. They've got a tough opponent in North Carolina here in Carmichael. North Carolina all season long has done some tremendous things, have met expectations, and are kind of looking to precede those as things continue here in conference play.
Well, starting off, ranked top 25, headed into conference play isn't a bad thing, and they've been tested. Obviously, the biggest highlight was that sweep over a top 15 Florida team. That can build a lot of confidence in that non-conference to bring into a tough ACC slate.
Carolina spent a lot of time at home as they hit the road in October and November. This ACC slate is no joke for this North Carolina team. Almost ready to get things going here for the first set in this ACC match between North Carolina and Wake Forest. Not too many miles separate these two teams.
Number 1, Zoe Barrett.
As Zoe Barrett gets ready to serve. To set up on the near side. Two great liberos that we're going to see today as that one goes off May, and the Demon Deacons are on the board first.
Yeah, you talked about it. That defensive play is going to sustain rallies, and the longer you're in it, the better chance you have of being able to come up with a kill, especially when you look at Emma Fallon for Wake Forest. She has been a constant there for the Demon Deacons, helping result that rally into a kill.
Set up in the middle for North Carolina. It's there. It's something they've been working on, and that pays dividends there. We're tied at 1 apiece. And the man in charge for North Carolina continuing to take this team to new heights. Now within the top 25, looking to usher their way up even more. as Wake Forest will just have to play it over. This one set up for Thorpe. Talked about her in the open, but dug out by Wake. Great defense as that one gets through the block. And Wake Forest takes the lead.
Lagidi getting in on the action, but that doesn't happen without a great dig from Becca Bellows, a setter for Wake Forest that plays extremely well in that zone one. When you're in that back right as a setter, you're only in that position because you're able to defend and dig up balls like that.
A service error for Wake Forest ties things back up at 2, and the Demon Deacons are going to have their hands full with this front row for North Carolina. They are deep, and each and every single player on this team can play. Taylor to serve. Lagida with a big swing, and that one gets down for Wake Forest.
Yeah, Lagida doing a nice job of being able to cut that block, right? We talk about North Carolina's size and then able to put up that double block on each pin so seamlessly, but Lagida taking that cut and that angle to keep it in.
Lagida, one of those transfers for Wake Forest. Here's a big swing attempt from Hampton. Haven't seen much of her early in this contest. Set up again for Hampton. Comes Thorpe with some touch. A setup on the near side, but it's right at May. A great rally here between North Carolina and Wake Forest. Set up for Thorpe, and that one gets through the block.
This is going to be so important for both sides. When you have elite defenses and amazing liberos that can get everything, you're going to have to find new ways to score, more creative ways to score. It's not always going to be the big hit. And Thorpe doing a nice job of being able to tool off the hands of Wake Forest blockers there.
Bobbitt serves it over. Hawkins was there in the middle, just can't get it over. Carolina hops on top. Haven't seen much success in regards to the serve for North Carolina this season, but Lainey Smith is there on the block, and Carolina on a 2-0 run.
Might not be as aggressive from the service line, but do they cover that net so well? Top 7 in the ACC when it comes to blocks per set. They can put up a wall.
A wall that seems impenetrable at times. As Hampton looking for the call, not going to get it, as the point goes to Wake Forest.
It's a high bump set. Hampton trying to track it.
So here comes Emma Farrell to serve. One of the top defenders in the ACC. Big swing for Hampton, gets down. And she is here, arriving at the party, 6-4.
Sophie Hampton does such a great job of being able to recover. You know, picks up that error a play ago, and now there she is being able to read that block, hitting over the high hands.
And Sadie Peck is able to get through the block. That is North Carolina. And some substitutions will come in for Wake.
Yeah, Coach Holzmeyer telling us that Sadie Peck has been a bright spot recently with Olivia Murphy out since that Maryland game several weeks ago. So obviously new opportunities, new players step up.
Only just a freshman stepping up as Lauren Shutter gets that one over and lays it down in the middle of the deck. And we'll take another look at this one.
Lauren Shutter, one of the most efficient hitters on this North Carolina team, hitting a 387. It's because she gets that nice tempo set, able to come down with the kill.
Off the arm of Hampton, and Wake Forest keeping themselves in this one.
When Wake Forest needs a side out or needs a kill or needs something to happen, it seems like it goes to Paige Crawford, and that's the reason right there. Such that heavy arm, that strong arm for the kill.
back set goes in Carolina's favor, off the block and out of bounds for North Carolina.
And for Carolina, number 1, Zoe Barrett, and number 77, Chelsea Thorpe. Barrett, survey.
Barrett and Thorpe head back into the game for North Carolina. Barrett to serve. The back set, May is there to dig it out. And Pierce too aggressive there as it goes in Wake Forest's favor.
23, Williams.
A back and forth affair so far. Thorpe plays it over. A big swing attempt is blocked at the net once again. Jackie Taylor is there.
I'm not surprised that we're slowly warming up in this match, right? North Carolina getting a sense of these Wake Forest hitters right now. Obviously keying in on Legita, who's had success early.
White. Kittle has to go all the way into the stands, and great recognition there from North Carolina. Wake Forest out of place, and that one placed beautifully right in the middle of the court.
Chelsea Thorpe. Sometimes it's great when the players make us look like we know what we're talking about, right? When we featured them before this match, what a great IQ play. Instead of just taking the free ball and seeing what you can set up, let's take the point right there.
Great dig from May. Hampton with the swing. But Emma Farrell is there. It's going to be a tough opponent to battle against as she has another incredible dig. May and Farrell going at it. Hampton gets the tip, and Carolina finds success after that rally.
It felt like the two liberos were battling it out there, just encouraging their hitters to close out the rally. But what a great rally, but big swing by UNC to grab that touch.
Haley Pierce, early for Wake, as White Kittle's attempt too strong, and Carolina's starting to pull away. Pierce serves, and the service error goes to Pierce, too strong on her attempt.
Number 17, Ryan Baker, and number 11, Sadie Peck. Baker, survey.
Well, here's Ryan Baker. Led Wake Forest in assists last season. Hampton comes down with the swing. Oh boy, she can high point a ball like no other.
And credit to Hampton being able to pass that ball. Ryan Baker has one of the toughest serves in the ACC. She has 19 service aces on this season, but Hampton passing and swinging there. What a beautiful first touch.
Bollinger serves it over. Baker sets up Peck on the far side. Carolina was there to dig it out. Another chance for Wake, great touch, but Hampton gets it up. Thorpe pushes it over. Another great dig from Pierce. Thorpe gives Wake Forest another chance, and they get through the block on the near side.
Another great cut by Legita. We've seen her do that early on. Lauren Shutter from North Carolina there, a little late to the block, closing in on that inside angle. Legita taking advantage.
Legita, a player who is no stranger to the spotlight. NEC Player of the Year in her time with Chicago State. As Crawford is able to get it to ricochet off the block of North Carolina, and Wake Forest climbing their way back into this first set.
they're really embodying the mentality that Coach Holzmeier told us about, saying he wants this team to be very aggressive, always go for the aggressive kill. They want to go after it every single time, and that's what we see in these intense rallies.
May comes out of nowhere for a great dig to keep things alive for North Carolina. Crawford. This one in the middle for Pearson. It gets down. What a great rally, finishing off in North Carolina's favor.
This is why Haley Pierce is top 25 in the ACC in kills percent, because she can do it from every zone. Here she is coming from the back row with that back row quick, the bit as they call it, being able to come down in the back row. You have that little running start. You almost get a higher angle, some more speed, bringing that ball some power.
Here's one of those transfers to make their way to North Carolina in 2025. So Carolina gets another one, 15-10. They now lead. We'll step aside here on ACC Network Extra. Stay with us. We bring you back inside Carmichael. Some decent fan attendance here today on a Friday night. It was a bit gloomy, but things are inside Carmichael are looking a little bit more bright and energetic. We take a look at the series history for Wake Forest versus North Carolina. UNC leads all time, but Wake Forest won 7 of the first 12 matchups, but North Carolina dominating in that second half.
Yeah, but this is a different Wake Forest team. Obviously, a new head coach in Coach Holzmeier, bringing in the transfer, some freshmen, and having a different mindset. This Wake Forest team looks a lot like previous FSU teams, a little bit different up against this North Carolina team. So Coach Shaw has a different look in this matchup.
Wake Forest battling tough here against North Carolina. It's been a rare occasion for this team to lose inside of their home court.
Yeah, and the game they did lose was a 5-set match against Kansas State, who's a very good team. And Coach Shaw saying they learned a lot from that one.
Kansas State, a tournament team through and through, had a big battle with North Carolina inside. Carmichael unfortunately didn't go North Carolina's way, but a learning experience for a young-minded team that is still trying to put the pieces together and build a team that can be super successful in the ACC. Point goes to North Carolina as they continue to pull away once again here in this first set. Serving has been a point of emphasis for this UNC team as Sophie Hampton gets the service error there. Bellows serves it over. Pierce just gets it off the block. And an interesting setup there from Murphy. Unable to get it over.
Yeah, Becca Bellows didn't have Paige Crawford because Crawford just dug it up, so she was trying to make something happen.
Bellows right in the middle for White Kettle, and a good opportunity for Wake Forest.
White Kettle can bring a whole new level of physicality to this team. The New Mexico State transfer, high praise from Coach Holzmeyer about her. It's just a matter of cleaning up her game, and that time, that was a one-on-none situation, all White Kettle.
Place to beauty down the line. Here's a big pass over to Pierce. Dug out by Wake. Right in the middle for Williams, and she gets it down.
This is what Wake Forest does so well. They stay in rallies, they stay in sets, and it's because of that elite defense. Paige Crawford doing a great job of digging up, playing that back row. That's why she's a 6th rotation player. She can do it all.
Another impact transfer as Pierce gives May a long run, but they just get it over. And met on the far side by Pierce to deny it. What a block.
I know Haley Pierce was motivated by Maddie May's hustle right here, the diving, great contact. Instead of just reaching out one hand, she got there enough to get both hands under the ball and get it back there. Haley Pierce finishing that rally though.
And a great serve there from Barrett as she grabs herself an ace.
North Carolina not known for aggressive serving. Wake Forest actually is, but they'll take them when they can get them.
Timeout here taken by Wake Forest as we come to a near close in this first set. Carolina with the lead 19-15. But this Carolina team, since Coach Shaw made his way into that head coaching spot, the expectations have been there, and last season they really met.
Yeah, not only motivated by what they were able to do last year, but also what they've already seen flashes of from this season. And you have a lot of pieces returning from last season that experienced such a historic year with the Tar Heels. So you hope that they kind of, bleed that confidence into the newcomers. And we've already seen that so far with that big upset against Florida earlier this season. And just their start with non-conference play, they've got a lot of confidence headed into, the ACC.
This ACC conference is no joke. A lot of these teams are well within the top 25. And we take a look at the key upcoming matchups for this North Carolina team. And back to back, they will go with all of these opponents. It's a tough slate, a gauntlet for North Carolina.
Yeah, that's why North Carolina wanted to be battle tested, headed into ACC play, being able to learn from those moments. But luckily for them in that stretch, those first 3 are home matches. So at least they have home field advantage in a sense to be able to try to protect the house.
You're absolutely right. And they have not been on the road much early in this season here in 2025. So they'll hit the road in October. Although they will be traveling to Duke, which isn't too far of a drive if you ask me. Here's a swing on the near side, and it goes Carolina's way.
Lagini trying to get around that block. That can result in errors because you have that wall there and you pick up an error hitting it too wide.
Lagina with some touch. Crawford is there. Here's a setup in the middle for Hampton. And Farrell can't get there.
We saw Pierce with the back row attack. This time it's coming from Hampton, and she has so much pop to her hit. She can rip it and go. And coming from the back row, it's so hard to predict and get up that block.
Carolina on a 4-0 scoring run. Make it 5. Another ace from Zoe Barron.
Again, service Forest going to focus on doing a better job with that first contact.
So another timeout from Wake Forest as they'll talk things over with Carolina on a 5-0 scoring run. There is certainly a lot to talk about for this Wake Forest team when talking to Coach, we spoke with him, play free, play hard, and that is what they are looking to do. But standing by courtside is the third member of our team, Olivia Mundorf.
2024 season was a breakout year for Sophie Hampton. She led the Tar Heels in points and kills. She really came into her own. She told me this week, leading up to the preseason, there was a little bit of anxiety to live up to that pressure of matching last year's success. But as the season's underway, she's realized she doesn't have to prove herself. She's developed trust from her teammates, and she's given herself a little bit of grace, and I would say that mentality is working out pretty well for her. Mike.
Thank you, Olivia, and indeed that mentality is crucial, not only to her, but for the rest of the team.
Yeah, Coach Shaw was amazing things to say about Hampton when it comes to knowing that this year she obviously had a bigger spotlight, a bigger role, and they like her in that role because she's able to, you know, produce even with the spotlight on her. And I like hearing that from Olivia, you know, about how she didn't have to prove anymore. You know, she's already done what she needs to do. Right now she's leading all hitters with 4 kills. She's been on a roll.
Well, it was always a question heading into this season what life would look like after Shaftmaster, and I'll tell you what, life looks pretty good right now for North Carolina. Baran with another nice serve. The back set, but Hampton is there to dig it out. A big pass for Pierce, but she's too strong in her attempt.
Yeah, Wake Forest putting up a big block now on that right side with White Kettle in there, sitting 6'5", so obviously that gives Pierce a little hurdle to get over.
Here's Thorpe. Haven't mentioned her much since the beginning of this first set. May with a great read as she watches it over her head and gets the 23rd point for North Carolina. Pierce to serve. Crawford, as that one is placed down beautifully by White Kettle.
White Kettle bringing the heat, a wide open net, slicing through that wide open block there, finding the seam and taking full advantage. Right, aiming that attack line right there. Talk about a vertical.
A graduate student playing very well. Taylor, too much on that attempt in the middle as the point goes to Wake Forest.
Demon Deacons really going to need to capitalize anytime North Carolina makes mistakes because they don't make many of them. They play very clean volleyball. That's what helped them get that sweep against Florida.
Baker, a tremendous server, but Carolina is there on the response. UNC set point.
For Carolina, number 6, Julia Bollinger. Carolina fans, make some noise. It's set point.
So here comes Julia Bollinger to serve for North Carolina. Baker on the far side. And the point will go to the Demon Deacons.
Back in for Carolina, number 21, Jackie Taylor.
Like a net violation maybe on Haley Pierce there on the outside net.
Still set point.
Shutter in the middle, and she gets it over for Carolina. North Carolina takes the first set, and we step aside here on ACC Network Extra. Stay with us. Second set right around the corner. some more fans enjoying their Friday night inside Carmichael. We hope you are too, as North Carolina won the first set as we get ready for the second set. But we'll take a look around the ACC. First conference play is officially in full swing. Pitt and SMU got us started on Wednesday. Pitt had a tough bout with Penn State prior to their matchup against SMU, but a lot to look at here, Amanda.
Yeah, obviously the NC State-Duke game sticks out to the one happening right now. Obviously, North Carolina takes on Duke on Sunday. Looking at my live stats right now, NC State is up in the second set. They're the first to 20, so that'll be an interesting battle to keep an eye on. But that Pitt-SMU game, that was crazy. SMU outblocked, out-service-aced Pitt in so many different categories, but Pitt was able to be more efficient.
A lot of talent in the ACC and a lot of talent out on the court here in Chapel Hill between both of these teams. Both sides led by tremendous head coaches with incredible staffs surrounding them. As we gear up and get ready for this second set, players just starting to usher their way out onto the floor. It's a pretty similar system coming out there for North Carolina. We'll see if Wake can make some adjustments.
Yeah, it's interesting when we talked to Coach Holzmeyer about kind of how he wants to approach this game. He said they're going to get their kills. North Carolina is very athletic, so we have to be really good at the things that don't require athleticism. So that's, you know, being disciplined in your base position, covering balls, watching your hitters against other blockers, and that's something that I'm sure they're going to want to improve on here in set 2. And also being more aggressive from the service line. That's something Wake Forest is known for. Their aggression from the service line, and they had no aces. Credit North Carolina's receiving. Wake Forest looking to get back to what they've done so well so far this season.
Conference play can often bring out the best in your team. Wake Forest has one set under their belt. We'll see if they made some adjustments to continue to battle back here against North Carolina. As we are underway in set 2. That one just got a piece of a Demon Deacon, and Haley Pierce puts Carolina on the board first.
North Carolina with ease on offense, a very balanced attack so far. 4 players with at least 2 kills, and Hampton sticking out with 4 kills.
Barron with a nice serve. What a great pass on the back set. And the Demon Deacons tie things up.
White Kettle has so much power, but look at that set. Bellows somehow gets her hitter in the right position. Becca Bellows, very athletic.
Check that. Subbing in to serve, number 1, Drew Lavaji.
Lalaji will serve it over. Great setup in the middle for Taylor, and she slams it down.
North Carolina has done a really great job of siding out immediately, not letting Wake Forest go on runs, and that's why they were able to create that separation in that first set, and here they are responding.
Crawford is there to receive the serve from Pierce. White Kettle over with some touch. Thorpe just gets it off the block. Here's a big attempt right at May. Sets up Thorpe again, and that one gets down just on the line.
Obviously, we want to give Chelsea Thorpe her flowers. Amazing arm there tracking that set, but Maddie May continuing to be consistent there in the left back. She had 26 digs her past 2 times out. That first one was a career high, and then she's like, let me do this again. Back-to-back matches with 26 digs. She continues to impress.
It's been a vocal point of that defense as Legita just gets that one down. Hampton got a finger on it, but unable to get good positioning.
Legita had such an amazing career at Chicago State at that lower level, but she was able to transition to the ACC be able to bring that caliber or step up that caliber in this conference.
Great dig by Pierce to keep things alive. Hampton gives it across for Thorpe. Here's a setup in the middle for Crawford, and great touch as Taylor can't find it on the way down.
Paige Crawford again getting creative with her swing. That time, instead of coming down hard on it, maybe due to that set as well, she tips it over. And clearly Jackie Taylor was ready for a big swing, so she was midair trying to recover.
There's another nice serve from Wake Forest. Jackie Taylor eager to attack. May gives it up for Thorpe. And off the block once again. Thorpe continuing to be a problem.
Elise Hawkins for Wake Forest in the middle there has been unable to lock down on some of these North Carolina hitters. Hawkins is such an elite blocker. I know Coach Holzmeyer wants to get her more involved.
Here's another big chance right at Taylor. And they cash in once again. Demon Deacons tied things back up. Lagita to serve now. Here comes Hampton on the big swing. Met by the block once again. Crawford gets another chance. And it almost looked like that one went off the tip of North Carolina, but it will go Wake Forest.
North Carolina, number 14, Emily Bowman. And number 23, Laney Smith.
Yeah, North Carolina just kept putting up a wall. Wake Forest had to find ways around that block, unable to. That's what North Carolina does so well. Their blockers are so versatile, moving around that net.
May gets it over. Some miscommunication from Wake Forest. And Carolina gets an interesting point. Demon Deacons get a point off a service error from Bobbitt.
Serving for the Demon Deacons, number 10, Emma Farrell.
Emma Farrell, one of the liberos we talked about today, and Maddie May on the other side. Both coaches saying both these liberos are on those scouting reports because they're just so good. You do have to plan for them.
Two of the top defenders in the ACC continuing to duke it out, and Carolina finishes off the rally.
And when you have liberos like that, just elite defenders, coach is telling us that you have to you try to aim around them. Don't even give them the opportunity to help their team keep that ball alive. But that one, Laney Smith able to capitalize on a great dig from Maddie May.
Hampton just gets that one over. Crawford gets it through the block for Carolina and brings the Demon Deacons back within one.
Coach Holzmeyer telling us he wants to attack, he wants to be fierce, but you also have to step back and realize that just a big swing is going to get denied by these North Carolina blockers. So Crawford realizing that, doing a nice wipe off the hands of North Carolina blockers.
Bellows serves it over. Shutter unsuccessful on her attempt.
So low set by Bobbitt, communicating with Shutter after that point.
Bellows serves it up again. Pierce will just play it over. Farrell gets a nice one up. May running right into our camera crew, and she's unable to get there. Demon Deacons on top now.
She's a little frustrated too, like I couldn't do anything. He was in the way. Full blame to the cameraman. But great effort by Maddie May, and that's something that she does so well. She goes after it. We've already seen her chase down a big ball in set number 1, and there she is doing it again. Body on the line for the Tar Heels.
Poor Zach, taking a big hit, laying on his body on the line. I don't know if he signed up for that today, but big shout out to Zach on our crew. There he is, big old smile on his face. For standing tough in that one, I think I would have shied away for sure. You would have seen me duck for cover immediately.
He's also on like a rolling chair.
He didn't budge.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't budge. Unbelievable discipline from our crew. 8-7 Wake Forest leads. Smith with another great play on that far side for North Carolina.
Now serving for Carolina, number 25, Maddie May.
Back and forth we go in this second set. Here's a chance for Crawford right off of May, and they're back on top.
Again, Paige Crawford reading what the defense is giving her, taking that inside lane, if you will. Maddie May needed to be one step over to read that. That's a rare miss from May.
Wake Forest currently in the driver's seat. Bob it over for Pierce. What a dig from Farrell. And she's met at the block by North Carolina. Jackie Taylor was there to meet Lagita.
Taylor and Hampton, both 6'1", with size and length and athleticism, getting there, closing out that corner, but great dig by Farrell.
Here's another chance. Soft touch. Placed beautifully.
Good read by Lagita. We talked about her experience at Chicago State, where she transferred from. She went to the NCAA tournament with that team, led the team in kills, so she has experience on that higher level. She also trained this past summer with Poland's national team as well, so a lot of experience to pull from for Lagita.
Williams, too strong. As she helps tide things back up here in Carmichael. Barron. Here's a chance for Hampton. May was right there. Thorpe gets it down right off the fingers of Wake Forest. And Carolina grabs the lead.
I like watching her rip down a kill too, but we got to follow in on her celebration as well. This is what she brings to the team, not only her level of play, but her enthusiasm and energy on the court, something that all of her teammates, it's contagious, right? When you have a teammate that plays with so much energy.
Without a doubt, she is animated as they come. As this set really heating up, back and forth, we continue to go.
The Deacons, number 17, Ryan Baker. And number 11, Sadie Peck. Baker serving.
The Demon Deacons have come out swinging in this second set. Have made some smart adjustments, but there's Hampton there in the middle to give North Carolina the lead right back.
Again, Ryan Baker, one of the toughest servers in the ACC, and North Carolina is handling this aggressive serving team, making that ideal first contact to be able to get their hitters in position, and look at them getting their middles involved early.
Bollinger to serve. Here's a chance in the middle. Pierce just got to it, but unable to make a good swing at it. And we're tied once again.
Kind of an awkward hit, but a credit to Hawkins to be able to get that in position and keep that ball in deep in that zone one out of place.
Agita with a nice serve. Pearson Hampton showing some confusion.
Finally, this makes sense. Wake Forest getting a service ace for the first time this evening.
Here's the chance to serve again. Another nice serve. Here's Hampton as she gets that one through. We're tied once again in Carmichael.
Again, a quick side out from North Carolina. It's something that Coach Shaw had told us earlier this season is this team doesn't really panic. You know, when they are down or when they do realize that they're going to have to battle it out, they don't panic, they just respond. That's what we've seen here as this has been a very close set.
Close set indeed as the block for Carolina comes through. Hampton is there. And he digs it out. Here's a chance for Shutter. He can't get it over.
Again, just too low of a set for Shutter to be able to get going. This is something that North Carolina faced against Kansas State. They couldn't get their middles going. Just working through that offense, getting their setters comfortable.
Here's a chance for Hampton, and that one gets through. Carolina.
The highlight of this match right now, 6 kills, leading North Carolina as they lead set 2.
Let's do it.
See you back here at Carmichael, so please do not drink and drive. If you have any alcohol as a part of your game day experience, please consider alternative transportation to your way home from tonight's game. The University of North Carolina thanks you.
Back here in Carmichael as Wake Forest continues to battle closely here with North Carolina. It was UNC that took that first set, but Wake Forest right now making their case that they very well could win the second. We talked about this with Coach for Wake Forest heading out of timeouts. He wants them to be aggressive and continue to be consistent as this match goes on.
Yeah, in set 2, Wake Forest has completely adjusted and been more efficient on offense. They were hitting a .083 in that first set, largely due to North Carolina's block, but now the Demon Deacons doing a nice job of keeping those errors off their side of the net.
That'll be Safi Hampton to serve. Had the kill moments ago to put North Carolina in front. But it's the Demon Deacons that continue to come striking back as we're tied at 15.
Wake taking advantage of that inside. Lauren Shutter not able to get that left arm down and pushed over the net to block that.
May gives it up for Pierce. Legita is able to dig it out. Crawford with some touch and great hands there from Shutter to place that one over.
Serving for Carolina, number 25, Maddie May.
Shutter just barely got a fingertip on that ball, but it was just enough. Here's a chance from Whitekettle, and she's been dominant all game long, leading the charge for these Demon Deacons.
Yeah, North Carolina hasn't been able to have a response, an answer for Whitekettle. She has a lot of power to her swing. Look at that, a 462, very efficient every time she gets set. I know Coach Shaw had her on his scouting report.
Another great opportunity there from Lainey Smith as she trots out of the game and substitutions come in for North Carolina. Barant back out there. She serves. Chance for Whitekettle, placed down beautifully. What a game for Whitekettle, 9 kills so far.
Whitekettle doing a great job of being unstoppable and doing that by smart volleyball play. She has so much experience too, right? The graduate from New Mexico State. She has a lot of wear and tear being in this sport for so long. Coach Hosmeyer telling us that she's playing through some of the injuries she had, being able to come back a little bit stronger, a little bit confident, play out her final year of collegiate volleyball at Wake.
As Thorpe gets it through the block, off the fingers of the block for Wake Forest. And Carolina jumps back in front, back and forward. Pierce from Charlotte, North Carolina serves it over. Trying to go with that soft touch once again. Thorpe maybe shouldn't have touched it. Barant was there, but nonetheless, Wake Forest ties us back up.
Lagita got a kill doing this the previous time with that light touch. As a blocker, you're so eager to try to help keep that ball alive, but sometimes you just gotta let your back row, your defense dig that up.
Timeout taken here by North Carolina. Wake Forest much better here in this second set, and it's all thanks to Riley Whitekettle and what she's been able to do here today.
Yeah, on the right side, she's so comfortable there. Great connection with Wake Forest setters, being able to get in system and set her up, even out of system. She's taking care of some things, but so much power. Look at the way she can rip it down the line. Really versatile when it comes to reading those North Carolina blockers.
She's been a big weapon against this North Carolina team today. They've yet to find an answer for her here in this second set, but a 9-kill day with a 50 hit percentage is a pretty good day for Riley Whitekettle.
And, you know, Mike, you talked about this before. When it comes to conference play, sometimes you see players step up, and Whitekettle has had a pretty inconsistent first start to Wake Forest. In her last outing when they played Old Dominion, she just had 2 kills, hitting in the negative. So obviously took this week to reset and put her best foot forward for conference play.
A tremendous player indeed, but for more on Whitekettle, we head courtside to our sideline reporter, Olivia Mundorf.
Yeah, Patricia Lagita played with Poland's under-22 national team this past summer. She arrived at Wake Forest just 2 practices under her belt before the season started. She didn't even know her teammates' names at the start of the first game, but she's adjusted really well. It's something playing internationally really taught her before she got to Winston-Salem. Mike.
Thank you, Olivia. Great story in regards to her having to deal with a lot, making some serious changes, but she has brought her incredible play style onto the court as that one goes in Wake Forest's favor, and there she is, being a big part of Wake Forest's success here today. Baker to serve. Right to Pierce. Barant sets up Hampton, but Farrell is there to dig it out. Wake Forest will just get it over. Barant, back set, Thorpe, got it.
North Carolina is going to look to somebody to reset them and get them back into the rhythm to close out a set. It's going to be Chelsea Thorpe. Not only have we talked about her energy, but her ability to find open court. A great cut going deep into zone 1.
Creeping towards the end of set 2 as that one is placed beautifully right in the middle, and the Demon Deacons jump out in front.
Now serving for the Demon Deacons, number 2, Patricia Magia.
Hawkins, just a freshman, the one to give Wake the lead. Here's a setup for Hampton, still being fought for, and Carolina ties it back up.
Checking in for the Heels, number 14, Emily Bobbitt, and number 23, Lady Smith. It's Bobbitt serving.
Here comes a big swing from Crawford, and she gets it down. Too many lead changes to count here in this second set.
Paige Crawford doing what she does best, is being able to, not the best set, obviously, way off the net, but that ball popped up high enough. Crawford able to get her full approach in there, swing that ball down hard.
7-kill day for Crawford. Hampton just got it on the line, and we're tied once again. A really big back and forth affair.
Hampton, such a powerhouse when it comes to that swing, but it's her follow through and kind of that claw once you follow through on your hand to be able to have that top spin that rolls in for her. What a great hit.
Bobbitt sets up Pierce right at Baker, and Peck can't get there.
Look at this line drive. Baker takes one to the chest. Her teammate's unable to get that one. That ball kind of dies once it hits your chest like that.
Carolina looking to pull away. Hampton to serve. Peck gets blocked by Shutter. And a 2-0 run for North Carolina.
This is their strong suit. North Carolina with their defense helping to turn the page here in set 2. Look at Shutter. She's like, yeah, it's just what I do, guys. And she does it at such a high clip, leading the team, averaging 1.25 blocks per set. She's got 20 on the season headed into tonight. Now she's added a couple more.
We've talked at length about the depth of this North Carolina team, and with that depth comes a very balanced attack for North Carolina. Safi Hampton, Haley Pierce, Chelsea Thorpe. You could throw Lainey Smith in there, Jackie Taylor. I mean, any given night, there's 5 or 6 players that can just step up and pack a punch.
Yeah, and it's not just your outsides, right? It's both sides of that pin, right? You've got your right sides making an effort as well, which gives credit to your receivers, being able to put your setter in the position to have more options, to get other hitters involved. And obviously, we've said all these names tonight as they've been able to open up a lot of options offensively, giving Wake Forest a tough time. Their blockers unable to know where the ball's going to go.
Hampton obviously sticks out like a sore thumb. She is just so impressive, but down the line for North Carolina, there is some serious talent on this roster, and the depth shows with the type of systems that they can run, the personnel that they can put out there. And it's been proven so as they grab hold of this lead, 23-21 in a tight-knit second set.
Well, what's interesting when we talk to Coach Shaw about that depth, obviously everybody plays so unselfishly because they want to win. It doesn't matter about if they can stack their stat lines, because when you have so much depth and all these substitutions, your stat lines can kind of be a little bit more diminished. But they play so unselfish because it's a team effort for a reason, right? And that's why you see a balanced attack.
Carolina team that has gelled very well together. Pierce, the soft touch. Farrell was there. Crawford, right at Bobbitt. Pierce will just play it over. Back set for Peck. Pierce is there to block it, and the rally continues. Crawford. Bobbitt, back set for Smith. Lagita brings it over to the far side, and Lainey Smith is there to meet her.
A tough angle. Lagita trying to set that up for her outside, but North for that. Lainey Smith there, 6'3" wall, ready for the block.
A great dig by Bobbitt and Smith to keep it alive. Great teamwork there from Carolina. Crawford, right at May, still alive for North Carolina. Are you kidding me? Back set Peck. The whistle goes. And it looks like possible interference.
Take a look at this defense, though. Setters that can play defense, that's why you have a 6'2", because you trust them to play that back right.
Carolina still an opportunity to win this set. It's set point. They lead by 2. Pierce. A chance for Smith, and she gets it down. The crowd is into it as Carolina grabs the second set. A back and forth affair, but it's Carolina who comes out on top. Unbelievable effort by Wake Forest. In that second set, they kept it close, neck and neck, but Carolina pulled away in the end. Standing by courtside with the head coach for North Carolina, Olivia Mundor.
Every point is a battle in the ACC. What was going on in that second set?
Well, that's been a stumbling block for us over the last couple weeks, is being solid throughout the second set. So we just talked about all we need to do is win more than half the points, and we're in good shape. So we were fine with the back and forth, and I like how our kids positioned themselves to make a good run at the end.
You have experience at every point on this floor, but Sophie Hampton, what can you say about her so far?
She's as dynamic of an outside hitter as there is, and I'm glad she plays for Carolina.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Mike?
Thank you, Olivia. Great stuff, but even better stuff from North Carolina to finish it off in the end in that second set. We step aside, third set right around the corner. Carolina with an opportunity to complete the sweep. Well, the fans certainly got what they paid for. An incredible second set between Wake Forest and North Carolina, with North Carolina coming out on top. It was neck and neck, a very exciting set as we get ready to usher our way into this third set. But first, we bring it inside to our broadcast position. Once again, she's Amanda Poole. I'm Mike Guerriere. We'll be joined by the third member of our team, Olivia Mundorf, in just a moment. But a lot of good things to look at in this second set. We've obviously seen that balanced attack from North Carolina, but the Demon Deacons are showing up here today in Carmichael.
I mean, we talked about the battle of the liberos, right? Two of the best liberos in the ACC, so that's why we're getting these long, exciting rallies. But North Carolina coming on top because of their block, their size, athleticism at all areas of the net. 3 blocks in that first set, 5 blocks in set number 2 to seal the deal, compared to Wake Forest 1 block this evening. They've been able to get going and seeing a balanced attack as well offensively. They've got 3 players with at least 5 kills, but the star right now is Sophie Hampton. She's leading the team in kills right now, and she has been doing it in all different ways. There she's attacking from the middle, from the back row there. She's got so much firepower to her, and credit to her receivers and her defense to get her in position.
There you see the stats through the first 2 sets. The kills are pretty even, but that hit percentage bounces off the page. Carolina dominating Wake Forest in that aspect. But once again, we're joined by the third member of our team, Olivia Mundorf. Take it away.
Yeah, Wake Forest head coach Jeff Holzmeier told me at halftime they need to be a little bit more consistent and they need to start taking control of this game, putting the pressure on North Carolina. And he said they really are relying on their upperclassmen, Whitekettle and Crawford. They both had some success in the first 2 sets, but they're going to need to show up if they're going to dig themselves out of this hole. Mike.
Thank you, Olivia. Once again, Wake Forest has an opportunity to keep this match going, but North Carolina looking to do what they do best and sweep their opponent at home. Barant looks like she'll be the one to serve here for North Carolina as both teams continue to conversate and talk things over. All smiles. North Carolina bench. A very animated crew, a happy bunch of college kids on this North Carolina roster.
Yeah, Coach Shaw saying some good stuff earlier this season about how, despite all the new faces, they've really been able to gel quickly.
Crawford tries to go with some soft touch. Carolina was ready for it. Bellows sets it up for Whitekettle, and her hot night continues.
Well, you know, Olivia told us that this is what Coach Holzmeier said. They're going to lean on their veterans, and Whitekettle is a veteran, the graduate. The New Mexico State transfer has been unstoppable right now with this against this North Carolina team, so they'll lean on her. She's been able to come up with kills.
Barant battling for it. Thorpe tried to get a hand on it, but the Demon Deacons quickly jump out in front, 2-0.
And Wake Forest has consistently got better this evening, right under 100 hitting percentage in that first set. Then they hit a 293, so they've been slowly working their way back, but is it a little too late?
The back set for Pierce, and she can't get her hand on it. Not a good start here for North Carolina. Crawford with a nice low serve. Set up in the middle for Taylor, and she gets it down.
That'll bring some energy back to your side of the net right there. A nice tempo set, quick. And look at the placement right between 2 zones, right? You're not drilling it right at the defender. Finding open court, key to a kill.
Whitekettle once again. This time takes dead aim at Barant. And the Demon Deacons, 4-1, they lead.
Whitekettle, the first hitter in double digits right now in kills, hitting a 500. Again, North Carolina with no answer from the right side.
And this time it looks like Carolina does have an answer. This time Jackie Taylor once again.
Taylor continues to excel and develop in the ACC. Last year, all-rookie team finishing the year. This year, her sophomore campaign excelling already.
Another great swing from Whitekettle. They can't stop her.
And credit to her setter for knowing, hey, if she's hot, right? You got to feed your hitters. If they're hungry, you got to feed them. And Whitekettle is hungry for more.
Feed the hot hand, and they certainly are indeed. As they lead by 3, 5-2. Now in this third set. Here's Hampton. You knew her name was going to be called eventually in this third set. And there she is. Brings Carolina back within 2.
Coach Shaw credits Hampton with having such creative offensive skills, being able to find a kill in multiple ways, but sometimes all you need is that power, and there she showed it off.
A game-changing type player as Bobbitt gets it over. Another ace for North Carolina here today. That one just too strong.
Now serving for the East, number 2, Patricia Lagita.
Lagita to serve right at Hampton. Bobbitt sets it up for Hampton, who gets it over. Lagita had a hand on it, but just not enough. Back within 1 is North Carolina.
Bobbitt coming in there, flying in there for the set, able to get Hampton in the right position for that big swing. Crawford gets a touch on it, but it's not enough.
Here's the back set for Crawford. Still in play by North Carolina. Shutter is there. Here comes the freshman in Malone. Gets some of her first minutes here today. And that one down the line by Crawford.
Again, this is that example of leaning on the veterans right now in set 3 that Coach Holzmeyer told Olivia, you know, just we have to lean on Whitekettle and Crawford because they're the ones that are excelling right now, and Crawford able to slice through that block.
Lagita takes a big swing almost to the face. Here's Bobbitt setting up Shutter in the middle. Hampton just gets it over. Deeks leading the charge right now. Bobbitt can't get it over. Wake Forest lead again by 3.
Crawford does a nice job of disguising what she's going to do with that approach. She brings in a full approach, a full windup, but then just with that light roll shot for the point.
The back set too strong there from Smith. Couldn't get good positioning. May sets her up once again as that one goes off the arm of Baker. And point for North Carolina. Here's a chance for Malone, and the freshman gets it down. We see her come off the bench a lot.
But look at that, making an immediate impact right off the bench, just reading that block, taking that inside edge. She played in 1 set her last time out, got a dig, got a block in there, but here she is producing on offense.
has seen a good amount of playing time for Bridget Malone, but the block once again for Carolina, and we're tied at 8 apiece.
Smith's teammates just hyping her up. Big, powerful play by the sophomore, the Illinois transfer, who's from Durham, North Carolina, so no stranger to the triangle.
What an opportunity for Carolina. The crowd is fired up, and they're back in front.
This is the kind of play you build off of, right? Oh my gosh, look at how in front of the attack line, Taylor's able to get that ball. Such athleticism and power.
Jackie Taylor showing the athleticism on full display here tonight. 9-8, Carolina leads. Here in Carmichael after that quick timeout. Carolina once again leads in set 3. If you're just joining us, I'm Mike Guerriere alongside Amanda Poole. Courtside is our sideline reporter Olivia Mundorf, as Wake Forest ties things up once again at 9 apiece.
First time seeing Olivia Fish tonight. She comes in, gets a kill, subs back out. She's one of those depth players that Coach Holzmeyer speaks really highly of. She's stepped up when other players have been injured or new opportunities present themselves, and she's been a bright spot for the Wake Forest team.
Malone sends one right at our position. We were ready as they jump out in front once again. Tar Heels lead 10-9.
The 6'1" freshman outside, Bridget Malone, says, hi, welcome to the show. I'm here too with some power. She's been able to come in here and there, make a big impact. Good reps for the freshman.
Indeed it is. May with a great dig. Here's a chance for Malone, but she gets blocked. Whitekettle and Williams were there to reject it.
That's a strong block on that right side for Wake Forest, something we haven't seen a lot of this evening. They haven't been able to slow down that North Carolina attack, but Whitekettle is going to be the one to do so. Tallest player on this team, 6'5" there on that pin.
Another good serve from Crawford. Malone continuing to attack. Hampton in the middle for Barrant, but Williams and Whitekettle are there. Malone once again with some soft touch. Bellows is right there to back it up. A big-time response from Wake Forest as they keep the rally alive. Right down the middle, are you kidding me? Jackie Taylor with the answer for Carolina.
Jackie Taylor was all over that rally, helping with the block, tipped back. Wake Forest gets it back over somehow, but then Taylor gets the dig and the kill. Just great concentration through that rally to be able to start it and finish it.
Well, we talked about it prior to this game. With the way that both of these defenses play, we were in store for some great rallies, and that one's certainly one to add to the list. Bollinger serves it right at Crawford. Baran back set for Thorpe. Lagita was there on the block, and the point goes to Wake. Eerily similar to that second set. We're tied once again.
Lagita, just like White Kettle, brings a lot of size and strength, but that time smarts as well, being able to read the high hands of Thorpe to shut her down.
Bollinger digs it out. Hampton not in a good position, but soft touch.
Point, Wake Forest.
And the point will go to Wake Forest.
Line judge says that was right outside the antenna. From our angle, it's hard to see, but that's why we got boots on the ground.
Couldn't do it without him. Great setup pass there from Baran to Thorpe. Just can't get a good angle on it. Hampton coming up clutch once again. Attacks right at Crawford. And 12-12, your score in the third set.
We've talked about the spotlight that Hampton has put herself in and what she stepped into this season, but Coach Shaw saying we like her there. We like her in the spotlight. She really meets the moment, and she's done that so far this season.
So now Erin Curtis to serve for the Tar Heels. Getting some of her first run here today. Already looking to attack her early. Thorpe with the big swing.
We haven't seen it much this set, but North Carolina taking advantage of a weak block from Wake Forest, a wide open hole there, and Thorpe being smart reading that hole.
Just such an exciting player to watch as Hampton is there on the block with Shutter. And that one goes Carolina's way. So 14-12, Carolina leads as Wake Forest takes a timeout. But women's sports take over the afternoon every Sunday right here on ACC Network. Next week, we start at noon Eastern with volleyball. Number 5, Pitt hosts Georgia Tech. Then we have a soccer doubleheader. Cal SMU at 2, then number 22, North Carolina hosts Pitt. Should be a great afternoon of matches on ACC Network and the ESPN app for your viewing pleasure. A lot of excitement in the ACC as conference play rears its head for a lot of programs. So Safi Hampton for Carolina has been so impressive with what she's been able to do.
Right, and she was predicted to be impressive, just what she's done already from last season, preseason All-ACC this year, and she is living up to the hype. Top 10 in the ACC in kills per set, and she gets it done in so many ways. Coach Shaw said she is creative in her shot selection. That's what she's improved on over the past couple years. Here she is showing it off, really taking advantage of a weak block we're seeing from Wake Forest, trying to open up that net play.
Hampton is just such an incredible athlete. I mean, the angles that she's able to create when she hits, it's hard to see any other player being able to do that.
And she's making those decisions midair. Like while she's floating, she's got to turn her shoulder, switch her elbow to be able to find the kill. And that's Erin Curtis coming out of the timeout, getting an ace. That's her first ace this season.
So here's Carolina jumping out in front. They now lead by 3. The setup in the middle for Hawkins. Can't get it to go. And another point for North Carolina.
Coach Holzmeyer said they wanted to rely on their veterans, but those are your pin hitters. They haven't really been able to get their middles involved, making the job a little bit too easy for North Carolina blockers.
Curtis, after the ace, gets the error and brings the Demon Deacons back within 3.
For Carolina,
Olivia Fish makes her way back into the game for the Demon Deacons. Baker with another tremendous serve. Back set to Thorpe down the line. She's incredible, Amanda.
It's not only the points she comes up with, but the celebration. Flex on them. Chelsea Thorpe, flex on them. You deserve that after a crush like that one. And it's nothing new. We've seen that all evening. And in the non-conference play, Chelsea Thorpe has really set the tone.
Bobbitt to serve. She's been a mainstay in that aspect, in the block for Carolina, showing up again.
Again, this has been the deciding factor right now for North Carolina. The reason they've been able to go on runs and close out the first two sets was their blocking, their ability to shut down plays.
Here's the back set chance, and it's gonna go for Wake Forest.
And it's interesting because North Carolina head coach Shaw saying that he knows Wake Forest wants to extend the rallies. They want to keep playing as long as they can. The longer they play, the more success they have. But North Carolina, they want to end those rallies really quick with a big shutdown play. That's what we've seen so far, giving North Carolina the edge.
Just trying to get it over is Smith. Crawford just gets it through the block and puts the Deacons back on the board.
Haven't said her name in a while. Wake Forest has been shut down at the net, but shut her that time. Unable to close down that block. Crawford taking advantage.
Serve right at Hampton. Set up for her down the middle. That's not something I'd want to get in front of. She grabs the 19th point for Carolina.
My jaw just dropped. I'm still trying to come up with the words to describe this. Look at, she's even surprised. Hampton is like, whoo, did I just do that?
I'll tell you what, you're not the first nor the last to be left speechless by Sophie Hampton. Here she is to serve. Williams trying to use the middle of the court. Set up for Malone. And the block once again, it's Lauren Shutter to help give Carolina a 5-point lead.
Sometimes it's about getting your hitters in the right position, and not just a lower set, so Crawford just kind of forced into that block right there. North Carolina, nice timing.
Baker sets it up for Whitekettle, and May keeps it alive. Malone, the freshman, comes up for Carolina.
That's what's been so fun to watch about this team, right? You talk about the transfers, the veterans, the experienced players, but it's how they've been able to lead by example, bringing up players like Bridget Malone. They've got someone to look up to grow with. We're seeing the effects of practicing against each other every single day come into fruition here in match play.
The dominant day for this Carolina team continues. Just running away with this third set. Another great serve from Sophie Hampton, giving Wake Forest some problems. This time it's Malone and Shutter on the block on that far side as they continue to shut the Demon Deacons down.
What an outing defensively for North Carolina to build confidence from an ACC opener, setting the tone for themselves.
Hampton to serve again. Baker set up for Williams in the middle. Forgive me, Hawkins, and she got it.
Look at that, Wake Forest getting the middle involved and gets a quick kill. We haven't been able to see Hawkins get very involved because of some poor first contact or out of system rotations, things like that. But Hawkins, a threat.
For Malone. Here's a chance for North Carolina, and it's blocked by Wake Forest. Williams was there to greet her.
Blocked and out, and North Carolina makes it match point.
Match point here for North Carolina. Looking to complete the sweep. Some soft touch. Smith just able to get on it. Malone sends it over. Here's a chance for Wake Forest. It's blocked, but the rally continues. Crawford sends it up to Hampton. Here comes Smith. And that one doesn't get down.
All the North Carolina fans on their feet as they are ready for the Tar Heels to end this, but Wake Forest is a team that won't go away. They'll continue to fight, and that's what Coach Holzmeyer wants to see.
So right now, North Carolina is challenging whether or not this was touched.
Carolina is challenging.
I think we're looking at Crawford's hands on the outside.
And this Carolina challenge is presented by Kakalaki.
It's a tough look. I don't really see any fingers flex back, or I'm not seeing the direction of that ball really change.
Yeah, and that's what you look for, right? The rotation on the volleyball, some fingertips bending backwards. The initial ruling was no touch, so you have to have enough evidence from the video to be able to overturn that initial call.
Oh, we've got an amazing crew helping our officials out with the multiple camera angles that are provided for video replay, something that has been a crucial addition to college athletics.
The call stands.
Indeed, it does. The initial ruling stands as Carolina continues to look to close this one out. Crowd is on their feet inside Carmichael. The crowd is into it. Smith tries to place it down. Barrett for Malone. Crawford not gonna get there. Carolina completes the sweep. And what a way to start ACC play. Oh, hold on just a second.
And Coach Holzmeyer was thinking about challenging something, but then decides not to as it is finalized.
So Carolina wins the match 3-0 in opening games of ACC play under head coach Mike Shaw. And what a year so far for Carolina as they look to continue to build upon it in conference play.
Yeah, and they saw some great things from everybody, right? You had a balanced attack. You had a very, very demanding block, disruptive block that really was able to shut down big rallies despite a great defensive unit in Wake Forest. All big foundational pieces that you can build off of when you head into the rest of ACC play here. And it's an in-state rivalry, right? Being able to get the win over an in-state foe, always a good thing if you're North Carolina.
Well, standing by courtside with none other than Sophie Hampton, it's Olivia Mundorf.
I'm here with Sophie Hampton. Sophie, what a match. That was a dominating performance. How does that set the tone for ACC play?
It feels so good. We came out like us, and it's a really good way to start our ACC season this year. I'm so excited.
You are having so much fun out there. You told me yesterday this team is so special. Why?
because we love each other. And I think when games, when they're punching back, they're digging us, it takes that love and support and trust to just keep going at it. So I think that was a really good example of our trust and love for each other in that game.
Thanks, Sophie. Congratulations, Mike.
Thanks, Olivia. So that does it for our coverage here tonight in Carmichael. The Tar Heels on top on their home turf. They look to continue to build upon this in ACC play. Next up, matchup on Sunday against NC State. So for my amazing analyst, Amanda Poole, our incredible director and producer, Nolan Sullivan, I'm Mike Guerriere saying so long from Chapel Hill.